Hello everybody, here Rene from Spain, finally with a new video and finally from this room. I mean, I already made a video from this room, but it was so dark because it was night and my video camera is just not good enough, you know, to film in this room during the night. That's why I hope so you can see this video a lot better. Okay, this video is going to be about Night Ranger, one of my favorite hard rock bands from the USA. I discovered them in the late 80s, early 90s, when they were really not active anymore. But I bought all their early day stuff, like their singles and their first albums. I bought them, most of them, during the early 90s, and I really got into them. But I was really happy that later they kept on releasing records during the 90s, and today they are quite strong again, you know, giving a lot of great gigs all around the USA. You can check it up on YouTube, for example. And also they should come more often to Europe, you know, because I think there's also a bigger market for them here in Europe. I know they're coming to England soon, or but they should come to Spain too. I don't think they ever came to Spain. But anyway, this is my collection. I'm gonna show some soundtracks and other stuff by Night Ranger. Let's start. I made a list of everything I want to show. Everything is in chronological order, and we start, of course, with the first album, Don Pato. You see? I hope so you can see it very well like this. And this is, of course, an album done with the original, I mean, the best lineup they ever had, in my opinion. Jeff Watson on guitars, Alan Gerald on keyboards, Kelly Kiggy on drums, Jax Blades on bass and lead vocals, and Brett Gillies on guitars and vocals. The cool thing about this band is that they, most of the time during the career, they had two singers, Kelly Kiggy, you know, the drummer, and Jack Blades. See? 1982. Okay, let's show also a couple of singles that were released during the same era. 1983, Don't Tell Me You Love Me, and with the song Night Ranger. The name of the band first was Ranger, but they changed it into Night Ranger. Brett Gillies wrote that song Night Ranger already when they were Ranger, named Ranger, but there was another band, the Rangers, and they were going to sue the band. That's why they changed the name into Night Ranger. You know, stealing the title from the Brett Gillies song Night Ranger. And also this song comes, of course, from Dawn Patrol album. This is a Japanese edition, and the song is Sing Me Away. Great song, of course. I love singles, Japanese singles. Okay. Their second full-length album from 1983 was Midnight Madness, 1983, yes. Okay, here we have a lot of hits on it, like the Sister Christian, or You Can Still Rock in America, Rumors in the Air, great album on the MCA Records. See? Okay. Then they had a song also in 1984, a song on this soundtrack, the Teacher soundtrack, and the song was Interstate Love Affair, and that song came out later on this album in 1985, Seven Wishes. Again, a very cool album. And they released quite a lot of singles for this one. Sentimental Street, again a Japanese edition. Here we have 4 in the Morning, also Japanese, 7-inch. I'll put it here. And here we have Goodbye. Those 3 singles are from the Seven Wishes album from 1985. Then they were on another soundtrack, also in 1985, the Explorers soundtrack. And here they had one song called This Boy Needs to Rock. The Explorers soundtrack. I also have the movie, great movie, and that song, of course, is from the Seven Wishes, the song that was on the Explorer soundtrack. But in '86, 1 year later, they were also on this soundtrack, the Out of Bounds soundtrack. And here we have a song that was specially written for this soundtrack, Wild and Innocent Youth. Okay? Okay, after that they released their fourth full-length album, I think it's the fourth. 1, 2, 3, yes, Big Life, 1987. See? 1987. And also I will going to show you a couple of singles. Of course, The Secret of My Success. That's of course part of the soundtrack I'm going to show soon. Colors of Your Smile. All singles from 1987. And Hearts Away. Also a Japanese. On Atlantic Elektra label. Okay, and then the soundtrack I was talking about, The Secret of My Success. That song is on here, on this soundtrack. Very famous soundtrack from 1987. That everybody that's from the 80s know. Okay, next page. Okay, their fifth album, and practically still with the original lineup, only I think the keyboard player was gone by then. It's Men in Motion, 1988. See, Men in Motion. And here I have a Japanese single that came from it. I Did It For Love, also 1988. Okay. Good, they also released a greatest hits album in 1989, 1 year after. And this is a Japanese edition, where you can see the Obi strip inside here. And I was playing this CD, but the CD is outside here. This is the first greatest hits album, 1989. And then Jack Blades left. Of course, he went later to form Them Yankees. And also the keyboard player and Jeff Walton were gone, the guitar player. And just with Brett Gillies, Kelly Gigi, Gary Moon, a new band member, they released in 1995 Feeding of the Spojo. Of the Mojo, sorry. Feeding of the Mojo, 1985. Just nice hard rock, no alternative sounds, nothing. Japanese edition. 1997, with Jack Blade back in the band, they release Neverland. It's also a Japanese edition with Obi strip. And then they released in 97 too this EP, only in Japan, New York Time. Okay, it's like also quite cool, only in Japan released EP. Then they released this live album, but this is from 2001 re-release, but the original one came in with a different cover. And this was recorded during their Neverland tour, again with Jack Blades back in the band. See? Okay, the next album they released, let me see, was 7, 1998. See, with practically the full lineup from the 80s back in the bands. I think even Jeff Waters was back in the band by then, if I'm not mistaken. Should have checked it out better, but I think it's him actually, the blonde guy. Okay, then they released this DVD. See, with 5 video clips by the band. This came out in 2004, and then they released an album called Hole in the Sun in 2007, but I don't own that. But then in 2007, it was the same, no, 2007 they record this live album that came out in 2008 on Frontier Records. This is the first, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first release with Frontier Records. And then they released Somewhere in California. It was like a kind of a comeback type of album. Really, really good album. Especially great to listen to in the summer. Somewhere in California. Came out in 2011. Then in 2014 they released this, I have the deluxe edition of this, High Road. It's a killer album that you all should own. Buy the Digipack version. It's very cool. Then they released again a live album, 35 Years and a Night in Chicago. They also came out on CD, double CD and on DVD. This came out in 2016, again on Digipack. And the last thing they ever released till date is Don't Let Up. That's the last record they released till date. And this came out in 2017 on Frontier Records. This is the latest Night Ranger album with a lot of great songs like Somehow, Some Way, Running Out of Time. For those two songs they made video clips. Check out this album. I mean, Night Ranger are still kicking ass. You have to go and see them live if you have a chance and buy their new albums, okay? Because we have to make Night Ranger go on, because they are doing a very good job. Okay, I hope so you like this video and stay metal.